And welcome back to Bitcoin Advisors channel. My name is Chris, bringing it to you here from Westlake Village, California. It is another beautiful day out here, and we got a lot to talk about today. Of course, Bitcoin's price action, some of the underlying market dynamics. We'll take a look at the Nasdaq, dollar, and gold, and we'll touch on a few altcoins. But the first thing is let's check out Bitcoin underlying market dynamics, starting out with the open interest. And again, that is all the leverage positions on the board. And what do we have here? Open interest is taking a slight leg down here at about 10 billion. And we are looking for a reset to come in around 8 to 9 billion, meaning a low to get put in somewhere around there. And then we've got the funding rates, and that is the cost to have all these leverage positions. Just went negative today, so looks like you're paying to go short. And then on the other side, leverage ratio. Leverage, I'm assuming, is probably still up there at the 0.20, so leverage is going up. More short positions getting added on, it looks like. And then the fear and greed index coming in at the 22. We're still in the extremely fearful zone, and that is yet to be expected as Bitcoin has played out a pretty nice downside move just over the last few months. So, and plus we got the war, and we've got interest rate hikes, and we've got inflation on the board. However, I do think that'll play into our analysis a little bit, as inflation came in yesterday at 7.9%, pretty much as expected. And we are expecting a 0.25% rate hike here on March 16th. So if everything goes as expected, I believe that is more on the side of a little bit of a bounce for Bitcoin and for Nasdaq. But the first thing I am seeing here today is Nasdaq is down here, 139. Again, on the daily time frame, let's take a look at it. And we're just playing out the daily downtrend, getting rejected. And the 21 and the 9 are governing this price action pretty well here. We're getting consistent lower highs and lower lows. However, I wouldn't be surprised for Nasdaq to pop up here and test this green 55. That would be a nice test of the death cross. However, if we do start to close any kind of a daily above 15,000, I'm looking for a run at least back up to 15,575 and probably continuation from there. And so that's something to be keeping an eye on. We got Nasdaq down 142, S&P futures down 24. And why don't we take a look? Because Nasdaq is the general of this market, kind of leads the way in both directions. And what kind of a move am I looking for on this daily downtrend? If we do get a closure anywhere here or lower at 13,000, just to give a ballpark estimate, next target does come in here at 12,209. And on a 4-hour, I could say that would be mediated with a 4-hour closure below 13,193. Probably leads the party on to the downside. What else do we have here? So that's it for Nasdaq. Let's take a look at Bitcoin's price action. And very similarly, getting rejected at the green 55 on the 4-hour and on the daily. And again, we've been talking about this for some time. A daily resolution of the range, anywhere a daily closure below 33,000 or above 46. And again, I put out a video yesterday. Patience is the name of the game. If you're looking to enter into some altcoins, or if you're just looking to catch Bitcoin, the momentous trade, you'll be waiting for those closures. Anywhere in the middle here is kind of in limbo land. But I would say this, and a lot of people are talking about this trend line here. This trend line here, which, let me see if I can get my drawing tools to work here. But we do have a nice trend line coming in right here. And I would suspect if Bitcoin does, and I do think, this is, again, the trend is your friend till the end of the trend. We've been in a daily downtrend. However, for the last 3 months, we've been getting a bounce along this trend line for some time. So as long as Nasdaq doesn't completely bleed itself out today, You know, not a bad risk to reward opportunity. If you ask me, asking for a little bounce here for something like this to go on. A little bounce and then bounce, and then maybe we can get a little upside action. But if that trend line does break, not going to look good for the bulls in this market. So and then what else do we want to look at? The weekly time frame. And yeah, weekly time frame, we are looking for the hidden bullish divergence to play out. If we can get a weekly closure anywhere above 40,900, that'll look good for a drive to at least the top side of the range, and then probably continuation from there. However, I don't know how this trend line, let me turn off my drawing tool there. However, again, I would still be very cautionary until Bitcoin gets a daily closure back above 46,000. Okay, what else do we have on the board for the weekly? Something else. A lot of people talking about the 5-day Stokes here. And if these do want to cross to the downside, so it will cross up with any kind of a closure today above 39,570. And, you know, it wouldn't take us much to get there. On a 4-hour, that would be, let's see here, any kind of a 4-hour closure. Let's see here. What would we use here to figure out what's going to get us that move above 39,500? We did already kind of break the 382 on the downside. So I am leaning more towards a bounce to the downside here first before any kind of an upside. But if this thing does want to reverse and start closing, you know, 4 hours back above 39,285, probably going to get that unwinding of the 5-day cross. Let's take a look at on CMEs what that looks like. And the weekly closure is going to come here today for CMEs. Remember, futures close from Friday at it's about 1:30 Pacific, and they open back up on at about 3 p.m. Pacific on Sunday afternoon. And what else do I want to take a look at here? Okay, CMEs right here. Again, that symbol is BTC1 exclamation. CMEs, where the most professional traders are for Bitcoin, does play out fairly technically. And again, if we have a bullish retracement on this guy right here, what we didn't want to see on the 4-hour is this just get rejected at the green 55. You know, those bull traps come in right at the green, the 0.5 and the 618 fib, and that's exactly what we got. And it looks like we're getting a bit of a bearish candle here with volume. So again, that does line up with another test down to the bottom side of this short-term time frame range. So that's what I'm looking at there. What do we got on the hourly? Hourly is crossed down. Volatility is flat. And we are rejecting the bullish control zone, getting kicked back in the bearish control zone. So again, short-term downside, which lines up probably with some short-term downside for some altcoins that we will be looking at today. What else did I want to remind us on the monthly time frame here? On the monthly time frame, we don't want to see this month close, and we do have, you know, quite a few many days left before this closure, but we don't want to see a closure below the yellow 21, and that probably lines up for a bit more of a bounce here. And yep, but we did have something fairly not so good, is the Stokes crossed down on the monthly, and every time that's happened, you know, coming from this region, we have played out some downside. That doesn't mean Bitcoin can't, you know, bounce up to 50, 52,000, and these still remain to the downside. In fact, these will remain to the downside as long as Bitcoin is closing below 61,228, and that's why somebody yesterday was asking me, you know, why are you expecting some kind of a bull trap? Just historically, when you get kind of this kind of price action, a big spike up, spike down, spike up, spike down, that is, you know, more of a bearish kind of signature, if you ask me. And the RSI is getting kicked out of the bullish control zone here. So that more on the bearish side, and volatility is just slightly losing its curvature to the downside. So this month has a long way to go. But that's going to wrap it up for Bitcoin today. Let's take a look at some of the altcoins and who is the darling of this market, Mr. Matic here. And I'm just going to throw it up on the daily here. And this is lining up, yep, just for a test of the 9 exponential. So, you know, a little bit more downside. There's not much volume on this candle. Volatility is declining, and Stokes are just going to cross down, need to get close. Daily Stokes need to cross back, or we have to have a closure today above $94.16 or 15 cents in order for this to cross back up. And I could see that this is more of a corrective move as volatility is declining. And let's see it on a 4-hour. So the 4-hour did just get a closure below the yellow 21. The next target is going to be $89. And I do believe, you know, this could bounce back up here to about 94 and retest the 21. However, volatility is increasing and momentum is down. And we do have what is going to be our first lower low, and we do have a lower high right there. So lower high, lower low. That is kind of almost a confirmed trend reversal. Yep, so this would be a lower low. Now we're just looking for a lower high and then maybe a little bit more downside action. What else? Let's take a look on the hourly here, and the hourly is coming into the purple 200 area. And will we have any divergences here? No, we just took out this low, so no bullish divergence there. Yeah, so volatility increasing, and I would expect, you know, if we do get a tick above this guy, we're going to test that 94, 96, 94.69 area again. But I would just look at that as a short-term bounce and then probably continuation down to about 89. What are we looking at on the 2-hour? You know, I think it'd be completely fine for this guy to come down to about 87, even a wick down to 82. And that would probably look nice for another potential buying opportunity. Again, it's not financial advice. We're not financial advisors. What else is playing up for a nice little downside move? I think Phantom here has been just getting killed here. Phantom just getting governed here by the 21 and the green 55, and the trend is your friend till the end of the trend. And even on a daily time frame, the 9 is just holding everything down. And we did get a daily closure yesterday below this guy right here, and even below almost this wick right there. So I am looking for this wick to get filled in here, and for Phantom to come down maybe about 97, and probably a decent size bounce from that region. What else did I want to look at? Stacks yesterday, which had a 50% intraday rally, looks like it is getting faded here, and let's see, where would we consider that a failed rally? And we could do a bullish retracement here. And as you can see, failed rally is going to come in with, that is a bearish retracement. So bullish retracement. So any kind of a closure on a 4-hour basis, basically where we are at right now, I would say a 4-hour below here, and next target is 126. Probably going to, with a small bounce, and then probably continuation down to about 118. Volatility is maxed out, so I'm expecting volatility to decline from here, and that lines up more with a corrective bounce to the downside. Maybe retest support here. Okay, what's another one that's been taking it on the chin, and again, kind of breaking the support right here and then retesting support, heading back down. You've got Stokes down, volatility up. We're in the bearish control zone. And so that does line up here with any kind of a daily closure here or lower. And there's going to be a pretty nice move to the downside. You know, it doesn't seem like a lot, but that is almost 30%. Let's use the ruler here. And yeah, that is going to be about 25% to the downside. Any kind of a daily closure there or lower. And we will cross momentum back to the upside with a closure above 14. So yeah, anywhere back above this guy, and that's right, probably at the 618 or the 382 on a bearish retracement. So actually back above 15 will look good for a test up to 17 cents. All right. And what other one do we want to take a look at? Atom kind of holding itself up here by its bootstraps. What's the 4 hour say? So volatility is decreasing as we are, Stokes did just cross up here in the last 4 hour closure. So that does line up a little bit more with a bounce, at least back up to the 9. And I would say if we can close any kind of a 4 hour closure back above 28.44, that will line up with the bounce back up to 28.99. That's not much. Let's look a little bit more on the bigger move side. So any kind of a daily closure back above the 618. Why isn't it clicking here? The 618, I would say even the 0.5 daily closure back above 29.18, probably going to revisit the range highs, and that would line up with Bitcoin doing something similar. Again, Bitcoin is kind of the thermometer for the rest of the market here. And if we get any kind of a daily closure back above the 618 here at 41,000, I am looking for this high to get revisited at 42.5. If that breaks, and then that probably lines up right with the test of the highs at 45,335. So we'll see what happens over the weekend. That's going to wrap it up for today. I hope you guys have a wonderful, blessed day. Thank you guys so much for watching. And remember, if you enjoyed our daily analysis, go ahead and click the subscribe button below. Get reminded of all the future daily videos we put out and all the resources we drop. And if you're interested in learning about incorporating Bitcoin or other cryptos in your IRA, there is a link in the description below. And I hope you guys have a blessed day. Take care.